Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. You're watching the Palak Talks and this is your host Palak. Today we are going to talk about the novel The Bell Jar written by Sylvia Plath, and we're going to talk about my thoughts on it. Has literally become my favorite. I have read it like just 2-3 days ago maybe, and I'm just like 18 right now, and I know for a fact that this novel's, especially this novel's fig tree analogy, it's going to be with me throughout my life because I'm going to obviously think about this concept, and I don't think that I'm ever going to get over this. So let's begin the video. But before beginning the video, I want to quote some lines from here, and then I can like continue talking about those lines and why are they resonating deep within me. And if you read this, it's going to resonate deep within you. This video is not going to have any spoilers as such, but yeah, I'm definitely going to read some of the most famous quotes from this book. So let's go. Let's not waste time and get right into it. I'm going to quote the paragraph which has been written about this, and it goes like, I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a husband and a happy home and children, and another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was E.G., the amazing editor, and another fig was Europe and Africa and South America, and another fig was Constantine and Socrates, and Attila and a pack of other lovers with cure names and offbeat professions, and another fig was an Olympic lady crew champion, and beyond and above these figs were many more figs I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting in the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest, and as I sat there, unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go black, and one by one, they plopped to the ground. So now, what does the fig tree analogy actually mean? I mean, I think I'm going to have this question for the rest of my life. I mean, I'm 18 right now, but I can guarantee that even when I'm 30, this is going to haunt me. I mean, not completely haunt me, but like, especially for me, I sit in my room and when I'm doing nothing and I stare at the ceiling, I kind of, sometimes, not all the time, I kind of think that what would have happened if only I would have chosen the other path? What would have happened if I decided to do this instead of that? And what if I decided to do that instead of this, and choose a complete different reality for myself? Would I be content like I am right now? I mean, I don't know if I'm completely satisfied, but I do feel happy because I am allowed to make my own choices and I do what I feel like doing. In this book, I cannot imagine being in the mind of Esther, because she's written that she was so scared to be herself that she had to completely change her personality. There was one scene in which she went to her therapist, and she did not want her therapist to know anything about herself more than he needed to know. So there was this part where she was like, in order to feel pleased with herself, she did this one thing, which may sound insane if I tell you this, but I can understand why she did that. So she wrote a letter to Doreen. Doreen was a friend. She wrote a letter to her and then she tore that letter. And when she went to her therapist, she took those pieces and she kept it in her pocket. And when the therapist was done taking her session, of course he did not mention that torn paper because she hadn't told him. So she went home and she said that she's written that she felt quite pleased with herself. And she felt like a genius after that, because she said that he only saw the pieces of me which I wanted him to see. And this is completely true for most of the story. She has not been completely honest with people around her about herself because she is scared that she is going to be disliked, she is going to be despised. And there are many instances where she writes about, one thing she has also written about is silence. She's written that the silence was not haunting her, but the silence of herself, like silence inside her which she was not able to speak, and where she was not able to articulate her thoughts, it was haunting her. And I kind of relate to this because when I am not able to articulate my thoughts, I feel completely dead inside. It feels like my voice is not there and my voice does not matter. And then there is one paragraph where she's written about being with two of the people who are completely into each other, and how she is thinking that it's like going away from your favorite city. The city is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, when I am with somebody, it's like I'm having this yearning, I'm having this hope that when we will sit down and we will talk, we will have such a good time. But then when two people, excluding me, start to share this great bond and they start going close to each other, first I'm obviously okay with it and I'm kind of excited, but then that excitement slowly turns into exhaustion, and it slowly turns into feeling not enough. And in this book, she has not felt enough, and she has written all about it in complete detail. She has written everything which she was feeling. Like, she had also written about the methods where she wanted to kill herself, and she has written how she never found the courage to do that. And she kind of thinks about death a lot, even though she says that kind of those ideas haunt her, but she still thinks about it because life haunts her more. There was another way where she has written in this paragraph, I think I will quote it to you. I saw, as if through the keyhole of a door I couldn't open, myself and my younger brother, knee-high and holding rabbit-eared balloons, climbing aboard a swan boat and fighting for a seat at the edge over the peanut shell-paved water. She is saying that she is looking through a keyhole into her past, because she's not the person she was, and she's never going to be the person she was. And it's like she cannot quite reach her, so she is kind of looking towards that person with kind of a keyhole in a metamorphical sense to and feel like that, feel young again, trying to feel that, but she can't, because she is definitely not that person again. And I can't help but feel that every word of this novel has resonated with me on some sort of deeper level, and this book is going to have a psychological impact on me for a long time, because there are points where somebody told her to forget her past like it was a bad dream, and then she wrote that for people living in a bell jar, it's never about a dream, it's always the reality for them. Their past, their present, their future, it keeps on going in their head, and you can't do nothing about it. It will not just erase, you can't just forget it. And it is written very nicely about everything, which she could not forget and which she wished to forget. And then she has also written about people, and she thought that people are something else, and then they turned out to be something which she didn't think they would be. And she has written very much in detail how she can't expect people to be what she thinks they are, and how people most of the time turn out to not be who they show themselves to be, and how she deals with all of it, how she deals with her ambition, how she deals with things she wants to do and things she has to leave behind. How does everything work out for her? Although in this book, it kind of does not work out for her, and it's a really sad book and it's a really tragic book. But every line, connects with me on a deeper level. Especially because it's written by Sylvia Plath, and she was going to kill herself. She killed herself 2 months later after writing this novel, and it kind of gives you a glimpse inside her head. And she has written about this also, that she wanted to do everything once and for all and be through with it. The idea of doing things again and again made her sick. And it has completely been elaborated, because once you are doing one job, no matter how much you love it, at one point it just becomes too much, and then you want to do something else and you can't quite do it, and that thought makes you sick. And this is also about not being able to find the words you want to communicate with, but you do have so many feelings. It's also about being scared of being vulnerable. She is scared of being vulnerable in front of her mother. She does not want her mother to see her. In fact, she has written that she despised her mother when she was asking her about her condition, because she did not want her to know, and she felt like she was invading her space and she was making her feel more weak. And this happens. You just want to be left alone with no one, and when that does not happen, you feel kind of helpless, and you use hating as a coping mechanism. A lot has been described in this book, and I would personally really recommend it. And I would recommend you to read it completely and understand it completely. Think about every line when you read it, because every line holds such a deep meaning in this book. Yeah, so that was it for the video. Please like, share and subscribe.